It's setting up, it says.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're ready. Yeah, there we go. So, a new technology here for us. We are joining you live today. Hopefully, we're live on here. It says we are we're actually joining you from Zoom today. And Peter here from Shootopia, and Laura, as always, with Feel Good Feet, joining us here from Aligned Orthotics. And happy to come to you from our homes. It's so interesting in all of these different times on how everybody's adapting into the new world and the new normal, right, Laura?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's almost concerning that later we may not be having as many face-to-face or kind of in-person meetings. We might be doing everything on Zoom.
No, it's from your perspective, like, are you, is there any sort of conversations and stuff that you can be doing in your business with Align right now? And are you having conversations? I mean, we didn't talk about this, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something you're continuing on because you obviously your business, like our business, our physical doors are closed right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I, like everybody else, have been self-isolating, and our College of Orthotics actually kind of suggested closing our doors probably 3 weeks ago now. It was kind of before the government even suggested it. So I'm kind of doing what I can do. I'm trying to answer questions on the phone, over email. I'm still checking my email regularly every day, especially for people that either have orthotics already and they're maybe having trouble with them, or if you've got some new injuries going on. I can kind of walk you through that as best I can right now. And then hopefully in however many weeks we'll catch up again and be able to meet in person and kind of do what.
What about for adjustments and stuff now? Like, can you, if somebody, if you're arranged, like for me at Shootopia, I'm dropping stuff off at people's houses, and people can still
Yeah.
buy online at shootopia.ca.
Yep.
But I'm doing that sort of stuff, and I mean, I wave at them through the window as I'm dropping off their shoe or whatever the case is, because we can't really. And some people, it's like, okay, I'm already in my truck, and I'll roll down my window, and if they come to the door, it's like
Yep.
we have a quick conversation. But from your perspective, if somebody needs something done right now because they're really suffering in any given way with their orthotic piece or any of that sort of stuff, is there still a bit of opportunity for them to get a hold of you, and you can maybe modify it and you can work something out back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, we're still allowed to see emergency cases. So, depending on the extent of what kind of discomfort somebody's having, I can still get into my clinic, into my kind of mini lab to do some minor adjustments. If there's anything that's more drastic than the lab that I actually use is completely shut down. So that we're kind of on hold, but um, definitely minor adjustments. We can kind of do our best to do what we can do.
Yeah, well, we're all trying to do what we can do.
Yeah.
And so today, we wanted to come on live, and for those of you who have seen any of our previous Feel Good Feet, you can catch them on YouTube as well at our YouTube channel, Feel Good Feet, any of the previous episodes that we've done. But Laura and I have always tried to, over the last couple of years, get together every now and then and do some stuff that might be interesting to our customers. I mean, both of us are working with feet every day, and the feet are the foundation, of course, of our body as we're up walking around and getting around. And today we thought we'd talk a little bit about the idea that, you know what, I'm looking out right now into the backyard and the trail that runs behind my house, and people want to get out and get active, and the government and everybody else, and it's like we know we have to be conscious of space and all of that other stuff, and not communing, but essentially going out for a walk on yourself by yourself right now is still okay to do, and going out for a run is still okay to do, and those kind of things. I mean, when we get outside, today's such a beautiful day. It's bright. You feel alive, and I think there's a lot of us starting to feel that spring fever, and along with that comes the fact that we're using different muscles and we're using different parts of our bodies that have been virtually asleep for the last few months through winter for a lot of the people that aren't active through the winter months and do start to take part of, being more active in the spring. And we thought we'd kind of go over that a little bit today on some of the stuff that you don't want to start off the spring jumping back into activity and then hurt yourself.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I always in the spring, that's kind of my busy season, honestly, because a lot of people are just kind of getting up and going. But that being said, it's not usually until April or May. And I think this has kind of catapulted us into spring fever, like you said, a little bit early. So yeah, so definitely a lot of people are out moving, which is awesome. I think the best we can keep moving and being outdoors better. But that being said, there are probably going to be some injuries. So I do have some 3 pointers.
Yeah.
First thing would be, if you can warm up properly, it's going to make a world of a difference for you. So whether that's stretching, like calf stretches, even rolling the bottom of your feet out, just kind of getting those tissues warmed up. So it's not as much of a shock when you go out for a run or go out for a walk. And start with a slow pace. Like, you don't need to go out and kind of hit the pavement running and just kind of give her. You just take it slow. You have maybe been sitting on the couch for the last 3 months. Who knows? But just take it slow and ease into things. So kind of into my second point is, you don't want to start off where you left off in the fall. So if you are kind of a fair weather runner or walker, that's fine. But just keep in mind that if you were running, say, 10 kilometers last fall, you probably can't start at that. Most people can't start at that without injuring themselves. So just take it slow. Even start with a 3K walk or a run walk. These Couch to 5K programs are awesome. So start with that.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, I think from a footwear perspective, our snow went away so early this year compared to normal, and we look at some of this stuff, and it's, when we at the shoe store, we see these, as soon as the snow goes away, there's a different sort of, people come in, they have a different attitude, and it's like, I want to get into my shoes, and I'm getting out of my boots and all this kind of stuff, and I'm gonna, it's a complete change, and and that happened earlier this year. So from our perspective at Shootopia, that normally would be an excellent thing for our business, because people are interested, and the change of season just makes you have that different mindset about you, and that activity portion is such a big part in our store of dealing with people that have the different issues and the different problems and things like that. If any of you that are listening now, Laura and I are kind of talking about doing this once a week over this next period of time. We're gonna continue on the lives. So if you have any questions and stuff like that, please let us know, and we'll try to cover them through the next little bit. And I do have a few from the email that I sent out. We'll cover those today too. But if there's any other ones that you want us to address, we're always happy to do that. This is kind of an interactive thing that we're trying to do, which we haven't been able to do before, because we always just kind of videotape them and post them.
Yeah.
So, Laura, did you have another? Was that 2, or was that?
That was 2, and then my third point was just kind of aftercare. So lots of stretching, taking care of yourself afterwards. If anybody has any questions about stretching, you can send me an email, and I can kind of walk you through some basic stretches. It's kind of hard to show you right now, but
tell them your email address, Laura.
Oh, so it's alignpodorthics@gmail.com.
Okay, great. And if you need to get a hold of me, peter@shootopia.ca.
Perfect. Yeah, so I mean, you want to basically focus, especially running and walking, you want to focus on your calf stretches. Hamstrings tend to get really tight in runners, especially, and lots of glute stretches. So anybody looking for any advice on that, you can send me a quick email.
Do you have any and I'm asking this because I think you do already, because I think I've seen it, but like a PDF download of some of those stretches?
I don't have a PDF download, but kind of something that we have in the works, it should be coming out anytime shortly, is an exercise library. So it'll basically kind of be like a YouTube channel where I can
Great.
do to certain exercises that would be beneficial for you. So
Yeah.
not quite
Well,
yet, not quite up and running yet, but it'll get there.
nice, nice. Well, I mean, we're all trying to work through some stuff, and with the downtime now, maybe that's something that we'll get here a little quicker, even, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I'm going to go into a couple of questions. Let me just pull them up
Sure.
here of some stuff that people had asked prior to us coming on, and one of them was from Pam, and Pam said, "Is there anything that can be done to make bunions less painful other than surgery? I have tried insoles, pads, and various assortments, and she shelved her heels, and she says, sob, you know,
Yes.
but no relief. Bunions are especially cruel for a woman with 300 pairs of shoes.
Oh my goodness.
We love people with 300 pairs of shoes. And appreciate that, but we also understand bunions and kind of getting through that. And so, Laura, from your professional opinion and experience,
Mhm.
what can be done in this sort of situation?
Yeah, so with bunions, there's typically a mechanical reason why they're happening. So what I mean by that is there's something that's happening when you're walking that's putting more stress on that joint. So if you think of this as your big toe, there's typically something that's kind of pushing your big toe this way, and then that's what's causing that extra bone to be developed. Um, so it might be something that's happening when you're walking, which we could look at. We can always modify footwear if there's any. That's a second major point, is that shoes are typically kind of squeezing that the toes nice and tight together. So we can look at kind of opening up almost a pocket. And I know you've got some sandals and footwear that have that kind of
We do.
pocket
Yeah.
in as well.
Now they're not heels.
They're not heels. That's okay. That's good. And then there's lots of stretches as well. So with bunions, it's sometimes is a soft tissue thing as well that's actually pulling that big toe over. So we can look at kind of releasing that.
How would that happen?
That way. Sorry?
How does that happen when you say releasing the soft tissue?
So to get into some anatomy, so there's some muscles that kind of come across this way and end up actually pulling the toe over. So if we can release that either through some kind of self-massage, even some rolling out, I've even referred over to like physio or chiropractic to help get a little bit more in depth than what I can do. So there's definitely lots of options. So
great. I mean, I didn't even know that. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the conversations that we're having, right? To help people. So again, if anybody has anything we want to go through, we'll shed our light. From our perspective on the bunion side too, we do have a little tool, and I call it the bunionator. We call it the bunionator, but
Yes.
basically it's a tool with a pocket on the side of it, and we can kind of reach into the tool and stretch, or reach into the shoe or sandal or whatever and stretch out that little area, whether it's a bunion or whether it's a hammer toe or anything that's giving you some issues there. So, I mean, we do that free at Utopia. Just bring in your shoe and we'll work with you on that. But, that's just a physical change of the shoe. On your end of things, Laura, you can do a lot more than that with the changes of some of the shoes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how extreme we want to go, but I try to, because shoes are there's such variety in shoes now in size and width and shoe shape that shoe shape. I try not to modify a shoe to the crazy extents that I can. Just first of all, it doesn't always look the prettiest, and most people don't want to wear some sort of Frankenstein shoe. So if we can kind of work with what you have at Utopia and what you have off the shelf, and just do minor changes from there, that's always the best.
Yeah, and we always carry both closed toe shoes and even some sandals that have, like you were saying, a soft pocket on the side of the bunion to give an immediate stretch on that area. And we're happy to help out there.
Yeah.
So Helen has also asked another question. She said, some of us seniors have to go for professional foot care. Otherwise, we get ingrown toenails and all kinds of other problems. What are we supposed to do now that all the places providing these services have to be closed.
Yeah, it's unfortunately something we're having to deal with. But um, from my perspective, I would say just be careful of shoe fit. Make sure that you've got lots of space because your toenails are probably going to be a little bit longer than they were. Um, but I would talk to your foot care nurse or whoever's taking care of your foot care right now because they may have some sort of option for you. They might be doing emergency visits. I've talked to a few who are kind of doing the odd home visit if necessary or if they can. So I would just send a message to your whoever's taking care of your toes now and give
Yeah,
them see what they're
great,
doing.
great. Another one here too. I get sore legs and feet from walking. I'm only 51 and have been very active, but I'm having trouble finding the right shoes that provide me all day comfort. My Keens make my heels hurt and achy, like there isn't enough cushion in the sole, and my Nike runners make the ball of my feet go numb. I'm wondering about the insole for higher arches that actually fit in any casual shoe. Any suggestions? Stephanie.
Okay. Well, I would say you're probably best to come in and see me when we can, just so we can kind of discuss options and I can kind of take a look at what's going on. I don't know if you're wearing orthotics already right now or not, but it sounds like you're in. The Keens are awesome shoes.
Yeah.
Could be that they're maybe not providing as much cushion as they once were, so it might be time to replace those. Nikes sometimes don't always have the most. I don't want to kind of talk
Yeah.
myself corner here, but they have cushion, but then the cushion does actually decrease fairly quickly. So again, it might not be a new pair of shoes that are providing as much cushion as they once were. But that's what I would do is either send me an email right now and we can kind of talk through things or hold off until we're back into business and then we can kind of look at your situation specifically. But there are definitely orthotics for high arched people that we can make work with what you have.
Yeah, and Stephanie, from an aftermarket perspective, we do carry Birkenstock arch supports, and we do carry a few things like that. But if you've already gone through that route and kind of tried that for intermediate sort of relief and stuff like that, and that's okay for a certain amount of people. And we sell a ton of them from that perspective too. The different insoles that we have and different things like that. We're always happy to help you in the store. But if you're just not getting what you need out of that, then that's why people, and the Podorthic business, like Laura, that's what it's all about. There's only a certain amount that you can do in sort of that aftermarket sort of venue, which we offer at the store. And then you need to go to a professional that's there to really treat those needs and get you the comfort and the quality of life that you want. When we talk about this sort of stuff, it's all about, our motto at Shoetopia is all about look great and feel fantastic. And if you don't feel fantastic, it's really hard to look great and feel great. And you just need to get that comfort because that's where it all starts. And after that, then it's a matter of getting your quality of life. And if you're having feet issues and pains there, it's really hard to get up in the day and get off to a good start,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Laura, what other things at this time of year you were saying, for me, at Shoetopia, just to get back to you too, Stephanie, of course we have, different shoes and stuff that we can try from that perspective of different support and all the other things. And we're always happy to help you in the store, work through some of those kind of things. And even outside of the store right now, I've been doing a lot of videos for people, like in dealing with one-on-one and actually going through our web store and just kind of pointing to different shoes on our web store and talking a little bit about them for individual needs. So I'm happy to do a little video like that for you too, if you'd like me to, and we kind of go through some stuff together, or even I'm happy even having these kind of conversations over Zoom if people want to join and get on board, and we can have a private conversation, which is a pretty easy thing to do these days, and everybody's sort of jumping on having conversations this way because we still need to communicate. People still have questions. People still want to, get some of the stuff done. So what can we do in our businesses is have this sort of conversation, right, Laura?
Oh yeah. I mean, Imagine this happening 30 years ago.
Even 10.
So much more isolating. It wouldn't. Yeah. Anyway, so it's good that we can still keep in contact and see people face to face. So
It is. It is. What else were we gonna say here today? Working out at home. You
yes.
had mentioned too, maybe a little bit of a chat about working out at home.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with walking and running. But if see a lot of people are getting into their home workouts and posting them on Facebook and Instagram, which is great. I'd love to see that. I just want to have people be aware that you're likely going to be doing a whole lot more jumping. You're probably going to be on a hard surface, so either in your basement, on a concrete floor, or out on your patio, on your deck, that sort of thing. So overuse injuries are pretty common when you're kind of jumping into that sort of routine. So just for instance, if you don't have a lot of home workout equipment, you end up doing a lot of body weight stuff. So that a lot of body weight exercises put you into a position where your big toe is being kind of pushed into this dorsiflexed position. So just for instance, lunges, your back leg is in that position. If you're holding a plank, your toes are in that position. Push-ups, mountain climbers, anything like that, your toes and the balls of your feet are being kind of cranked on. So I just want to make a point of take it easy. Make sure there's a lot of variety in your exercises, even though they seem like they are different exercises. Look at the positioning because they are very similar. So increase rest periods. I know we all want to be active and you want to get down to your basement and work out every day, and that's great. Just take it slow. Like I said, increase rest periods if we need to, and kind of go from there. If you're having any of those pains, let me know. But I just want to make a point of that.
Yeah, well, I think that's great. I mean, one of the things that we can do through this too is offer a little bit of education, right? And sometimes, a lot of the sort of things that we're talking about online and everything are more sort of sales driven and some stuff like that. But ultimately, it's a community that we have between, we're small town people, Laura,
Yep.
and we both, live in small town for a reason, and our, people that follow us and stuff like that, or our friends, our community, our all that sort of stuff. And all we can do through these times is to create some of these bonds and help people live happier and healthier lives and get through a lot of this sort of stuff together. And if it means that from our perspective of where our professional things are, that just feeling good in the morning and having the right footwear and having the right help and that sort of stuff from that, as I said, sort of off the beginning, the concept of really feeling healthy starts at your feet when you get out of bed in the morning. It's like you get out of bed and you stand up and for people that suffer from plantar fasciitis and stuff, you feel that right away.
Yeah.
And so where does everything start? Well, it starts with your feet. It's the foundation. And hopefully that today we've had a little conversation about some stuff that's been helpful for anybody that's listening and stuff like that. And if you have any further questions, or you want to go through anything else in our next couple of episodes, please let us know. Please reach out to either Laura at Align Podorthics, so alignpodorthics@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And Peter at shootopia.ca, or just ping us here. Even if you ping us here and it's on the Facebook page for Shootopia, I'll make sure Laura gets it as well. We're in communication regularly, so all of that good stuff too. Laura, did you have any sort of final things for today?
I think that's it for today. Well, thank you for having me. And
Hey, it's a joint affair here.
Yeah, and I hope everybody stays active and keeps moving, and the sun's shining this week, so that will help for sure.
In amidst all the craziness of COVID-19, I think we just need to stay positive and work through all of this together. So hopefully this conversation's helped. stay healthy, and we will rejoin you again with another version of Feel Good Feet in another week or so. We'll keep you
Perfect.
attention. All right. Bye for now.
Bye.